I start looking back and forth? Do you want to switch shoes? Would it make you feel more comfortable?
I don't have. Oh, you mean swap shoes? Yes.
Do you have like a little box there? Sorry, now that I need you to
Get rid of my box. Got it.
Felt it. I knew you were gonna have a box.
Who's gonna see this?
It goes on our YouTube channel.
And we're here at, nope, don't like that one. What do you think the show's called?
Okay, yeah.
All right, great. We're here with another episode of Inside the Eclipse Studio. I'm Jenny Shadle with Eclipse Theater LA, here with Barry Agin of Off Book Theater Company. Barry, why don't you tell us how you formed Off Book Theater Company and how you chose On Golden Pond for this year's season?
Sure. I started Off Book Theater Company a few years ago, and we've done several successful theater in a week. That's 6 one-act plays that are done at the Main. I write them all. They're all original. They're all 10 minutes, and people are in rehearsal for 1 week. Because I noticed a lot of actors just didn't have the time to do the 3 months for a show anymore. So I thought, well, let's put this together, and everybody jumps at it. And the wonderful thing about it is that you get all A-list actors and directors because everybody's got a week. And everybody wants to be on there.
And that's been very successful. You just completed one this last year in December, and we'll have another one in December of this year.
In December. They've been very fortunate, been very well received.
Wonderful. And those are at the Main in Old Town Newhall, and we'll have it on our social media pages for you to come and find that in December. But let's talk about On Golden Pond. How did you choose that?
On Golden Pond is our first main stage theater. I thought about it 2 years ago when the pandemic hit, which we all started just zooming around for everything. I've always really enjoyed it. It's a role I've wanted to play, so I decided to produce it because that way I made sure I got cast in it. I figured I'm in that sweet spot where I'm old enough to play it, but young enough to remember the lines.
Great.
And asked Nancy to direct because I love everything she does. We have very similar styles, and Eclipse Theater LA has been extremely gracious helping me with a lot of things because I'm pretty much a one-man show. Yes. So it's been great having everybody pulled together.
Wonderful. So give us a synopsis of the show that people are going to come and see.
Basically, it's a coming of age at a very old age. And it's a lot of family dynamics. There's some very funny parts of it. People remember parts of things and think it's very dramatic, but it has some funny parts in it. We have an excellent cast, brilliant cast in there. And I think everybody will be able to relate to it with their parents, their grandparents, or their grandkids, the whole thing. And there's a rejuvenation with it, and it's a very, very positive show. And that relatability, I'm sure that everyone will be able to see themselves in some of the characters on stage also. Absolutely. It happens in so many shows that people, if they can identify with a character, then they're going to really enjoy the show a lot more. And we have, every age, everything represented. There's only 6 actors in the cast, but they all represent different areas. And I do know people will see themselves in it. Yeah, or see somebody else that they know in it and absolutely.
go, ooh, I know that person.
Absolutely.
In their own family.
Yes.
So tell us about your character, Norman.
Norman is a cantankerous old retired English professor who likes to complain a whole lot, and his lovely wife, who's been with him for 50 years, puts up with it and kind of guides him along. And even though he won't admit it, she's the strength, obviously, behind him. People will recognize that. And it's just interesting watching him. It's going to be his 80th birthday, and it's their 45th year on Golden Pond together. And it's just interesting watching the dynamics that happen between them and between the daughter, who they're somewhat estranged from, and she's bringing her a fiance and a 13-year-old boy, son, and they leave him with Norman, who at first thinks is totally frightened but acts like he's mad, and they bond over the summer a whole lot, and it's great. It's really enjoyable. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming out and talking to us today in the Inside Eclipse studio. We hope that you guys come and see On Golden Pond at the Main in Old Town Newhall. You can find tickets at ongoldenpond.eventbrite.com, and the show opens November 11th.